So you study your target language every day, podcasts, grammar drills, vocabulary flashcards, but progress still feels slow or maybe even stuck. What if I told you that it's not because of how hard you're trying, but because you're aiming at the wrong target? I've seen this mistake in thousands of users of the language app I built. Goals like become fluent or learn to speak German feel intuitive, but they're actually silent progress killers. Too hard to measure, too distant to stay motivated. I made this exact mistake when I was on a mission to become fluent in German for 2 years getting nowhere, until I came up with this simple method I call a aimless system. Once I started using it, I went from being stuck at A2 level to passing my B2 exam with near perfect score in just 3 months. So now I want to share it with you so that by the end of the video you can set your language goals in a way that drive real progress and get you unstuck. What I find wild is that very often I see people who spend similar amount of time per day studying a language, but maybe one has been learning for 2 years and the other person has been learning for 5 or 6 months. The 2-year person still cannot hold even a basic conversation, and the 6-month person is already chatting with natives. Same effort, wildly different results. And no, it's not about talent. Very often it comes down to what they aim and what they focus on when they sit down to study. So the aimless system helps you exactly with that. So let's dive right into it. The first S is specific definition of fluency. Stop saying I want to become fluent and start defining what fluency actually means for you. The core insight here is that you don't need to be fluent in everything. You can be fluent in some situations and not others. It works the same way for native speakers. They're not fluent in every context. If we take an average English speaker and send them to a conference, let's say on quantum physics, they would feel very lost and probably not fluent in that situation. In the same way, you need to become fluent in contexts that are relevant for you. For me at first, when I just started learning German, it was about small talk with my colleagues, talking about my hobbies, telling about my work, about myself, without constantly searching for vocabulary. And later, when I started my company in Germany, I also wanted to become fluent in this business context, to be able to pitch my business, to talk about our product and answer some basic questions. And for you, it might be something completely different, to watch Netflix movies without subtitles, or read Game of Thrones in original, or pass a job interview, or maybe some kind of language test. By creating your own definition of fluency, you're essentially reducing the scope of the language, making it more tangible, more approachable. Without the specificity, you just keep learning all kinds of stuff, hoping that all those small things somehow add up to becoming fluent. It will not. The second S is small objectives. Even if you specify what fluency means for you, very likely the context you choose is still quite big. So you need to break down that context into what I call mini skills. Let's imagine that your end goal is to master everyday German, to be able to hold casual, maybe 10 to 15-minute conversations in German. So that context is still quite big. So we have to break it down into multiple mini skills. Mini skill number 1 could be greetings and goodbyes. Mini skill number 2 could be talking about your weekend or maybe your weekend plans. Mini skill number 3 could be about asking people basic questions and maybe being able to answer some basic questions. Each of these mini skills would take you 1 to 2 weeks to master, and all of a sudden casual conversations doesn't feel like an impossible goal, it becomes very actionable. But more importantly, every mini skill is a win, and even the smallest win lets you know that you're making real progress and keeps your motivation high. But if you skip this step, very likely even the most specific definition of fluency would still be quite big and overwhelming, which means that you would likely procrastinate because you don't know where to start. And the final S is studying in sprints. What typically happens is that we as language learners for some reason think in terms of 1-year horizons. Maybe it's the fault of New Year resolutions. We say things like, I want to become fluent in German in 2026. I want to learn to speak English in 2026. Instead, I recommend to run or to hold 60-day sprints. That's it. So a 2-month sprint is actually short enough for the end to be very close for you to feel the urgency, but long enough to make tangible progress. So what you do is that you look at the list of the mini skills you created in step 2, you choose 4 to 6 mini skills, and you run a 2-month sprint and just focus on those mini skills. Without sprints, you run into 2 problems. First of all, the year always seems long and it always feels like you have a lot of time, so you will procrastinate. The second problem is that you will have to study until you're fluent, which basically means forever. Sprints give you a sense of urgency and they force progress. So here is your action plan. Select one context in which you want to become fluent. Break it down into 6 to 8 mini skills. Then start a 60-day sprint. Not tomorrow, not in 1 month, today. And if you need help with mapping the whole thing out, I created a custom GPT, link in the description. It will help you select the right context, break it down into mini skills, and create a personalized sprint plan. Now it's time for you to go and set a real goal. See you next time.